Hi there, my name is Carly and I'm the founder of Hello Postpartum. I'm also a certified integrative nutrition health coach and mom of two. And today I want to talk to you all about postpartum nutrition and meal prep. Now, keep in mind, I'm not a nutritionist or a registered dietitian, but I have worked closely with nutritionists and dietitians to create our postpartum nutrition guide. So today, let's dive in all about the world of postpartum meal prep and nutrition because it's a lot. I mean, personally, I was blindsided at how challenging it felt to feed myself after birth, not to mention learning how to feed a baby at the same time. So I hope that today's tips and tricks will help give you some insight, help you feel inspired and a little less overwhelmed as you begin to prep for feeding yourself after birth. In this video, I'm going to cover essential nutrition that you need to have for recovery after birth, some hacks for prepping your kitchen and getting yourself organized, some easy meal prep tip ideas, my favorite postpartum meal delivery service, and some recipe ideas to get you started. As always, everything will be linked in the show notes that I mentioned, as well as I'm dropping a link to our postpartum nutrition guide and recipe book. This guide is chock full of so much helpful information and includes over 40 recipes for postpartum recovery. Plus, it has a printable shopping list to make your life just that much easier. Okay, let's dive in. As you begin to think about what you should be eating after birth, you might be wondering, how am I going to eat this stuff? Literally, who has the time to cook? So there are some important things that you can keep in mind. I've touched on them in a few different videos before, but I will absolutely share them again here. Number one, you're going to want to make double batches of meals as you begin to cook in your final weeks of pregnancy. So if I'm making chili for dinner, I'm 38 weeks pregnant, I'm gonna make a double batch. I'm going to immediately take half of that batch, put it in a Ziploc bag or freezer safe container and label it with the contents, the date made, and any reheating instructions. This will help you slowly begin to stock your freezer over time and will save you a lot of effort once baby is here. Another thing you can do is ask a friend to start a meal train for you. You literally Google meal train and there's an entire website dedicated to this. It makes it super easy and you just enter your recipients' email addresses or phone numbers. They get an email notification or a text notification. They sign up for a delivery date and they make it really easy for friends and family to drop off meals at your doorstep. Another option is to order a postpartum meal delivery service. This is such a lovely idea. You can even add it to your baby registry. This ensures that you are getting the proper nutrients, you're keeping yourself fed, and you're really nourishing yourself in a way that's needed after birth. Okay, last but not least, add some DoorDash gift cards to your baby registry. Nothing better than opening an app, ordering some takeout for something that you're craving and having it show up at your doorstep. Now, this isn't realistic probably for everyone every single night, but having a meal or two taken off of your plate, literally, is so helpful. I highly recommend. And you might be wondering, like, what is a postpartum meal delivery service? Which one do you recommend? I personally love and recommend Mama Meals. They are based out of Southern California. They're a family-owned company who really focuses on providing freezer-friendly, super nourishing postpartum meals. They source their ingredients from organic and regenerative farms. They are so yummy, so simple, and you can literally just pop them on the stovetop to reheat or even in a crock pot, which makes it super easy to feed yourself after birth. They even have lactation cookies and brownies and all sorts of yummy breakfast items. I highly recommend checking them out. I'll make sure to link to them in the show notes here. Okay, well, now my stomach's growling. Not sure about yours. Let me give you a few recipe ideas so you can start to think about what you could make as you begin to prepare for feeding yourself after birth. So in our recipe guide, like I mentioned, there are over 40 recipes, but some that are our fan favorites are the healing chicken soup, overnight oats, sausage breakfast burritos, cashew date bites, midnight muffins, easy egg bites, and there are so many more. But I wanted to just give you a sense of kind of like one-handed, super easy meal recipes that you can use for after birth. These recipes are easily adapted to your preferences and likings, and you can easily Google any of these recipes that I just listed off and find your own variations of them too if you don't want to get them in our guide. Totally cool to do. Let's move on to some helpful pantry, fridge, freezer prep hacks, because this is what it comes down to, I truly believe. We've covered the nutrients that you need to focus on after birth. We've covered some easy recipe ideas. We've covered some meal prep, kind of stock your fridge, freezer prep ideas. And we have also talked about some postpartum meal delivery service options. So now, last but not least, this is the thick of it. This is the meat of this video. Some ideas to help really get you organized in your kitchen, pantry, and fridge, freezer. Because without this step, everything else feels significantly harder. Okay, are you ready? You want to, number one, make sure that you have enough storage containers on hand. This could look like freezer gallon bags or glass containers, mason jars with lids, the silicone super cubes. Those are really cool too for freezing kind of more liquid items, soups, stews, broths, that sort of thing. You want to make sure that you have enough of those on hand, so as you begin to prep, you have somewhere to put all this food. Okay, that's tip number one. Tip number two, you want to run through your pantry and make sure that as you get closer to your due date, you have some pantry essentials on hand. This looks like dried rice and quinoa, canned beans and lentils, tortilla chips, nut and seed crackers, nut butters of all different varieties, or your preferred favorite, tomato sauce, easy whole grain pastas, nuts and seeds, beef jerky, trail mix, all of these really whole food centered items that can be a bigger part of a meal or kind of eaten on their own as needed. Another idea is to clear out your pantry, so go through anything that's maybe expired, or if it's like a baking item, you can move it to another shelf. You can make space for items that you need to easily and quickly grab or have someone else do during your recovery time. Another helpful tip for your pantry is getting some disposable and ideally recyclable paper plates, utensils, and cups. This will help drastically cut down on the amount of dishes someone has to clean, and it's one easier step in cleaning up. I think that this is such a genius tip and so often overlooked. You can prep your fridge and freezer in similar fashion by, number one, just cleaning them out, making space for items that you need to batch prep or, stock up on before baby comes. So start by cleaning it out, making sure you have enough storage containers on hand, and then for your fridge, you're going to want to make sure you have enough easy protein options on hand. So this looks like pre-cut cheese, cottage cheese, yogurt, pre-cooked proteins like getting a rotisserie chicken from the grocery store. Having easy things on hand like that to help keep yourself fed during these early days. I also love the idea, this is from Lindsay Taylor, the food doula, who is an author of our nutrition guide. She suggests getting fruit and veggie trays, like ready to go. This is, pre-cut, easy to grab, Dip in some hummus if you're eating veggies. Dip in some, yogurt with some cinnamon if you're eating some fruit. Easy ways to get some nutrients into your body without doing too much heavy lifting. So for your fridge, pre-stocking those pre-cut, pre-made meals, veggies, fruits, proteins is always a great idea and totally okay to do. Ultimately, if you take just 1 or 2 tips away from this video to help get yourself prepared for eating after birth, you're going to be in such a better position than you were before you started watching this video. I have linked to our postpartum nutrition guide and recipe book in the notes here. Also, a super helpful blog post that we have on 11 freezer-friendly meals for new moms. These are recipes that we've rounded up that are perfect for postpartum, easy to store, easy to make, easy to reheat, that you can use for life after birth. Ultimately, I need you to remember how important it is to nourish your body during this time. It's not a time to restrict or count calories or cut back. Your body needs fuel, especially if you're breastfeeding. We need adequate calories from optimal sources of foods and, making sure that we are really taking care of ourselves during this time. I hope you found this video helpful. I know it's a lot of information. I'm here always if you have any questions, and please make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you can continue to follow along with all the postpartum help we are here to offer. Thanks for watching.